I've seen a lot of strange things in my life, but what happened at that school is something I will never forget. This all took place about 4 years ago. I was working as a night security guard in a small town here in the States. One day, I was assigned a new post, an old, historic school building. The name of the school was Ridgewood High School. During the day, it was just like any other school. Students everywhere, teachers walking the halls, laughter and noise filling the building. But at night the entire place felt different. Long, empty hallways, old photographs hanging on the walls, and the silence so deep it almost felt alive. My shift was from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. The first 2 nights went perfectly fine. But on the third night, something strange happened. It was around 1:30 in the morning. I was sitting in the security room, watching the camera monitors, when suddenly I noticed movement in one of the classroom cameras. I leaned closer to the screen. The classroom looked empty, but then I saw it. A single chair was slowly moving on its own, like someone had just gotten up from it. I figured maybe a student had sneaked into the building somehow, so I grabbed my flashlight and walked down the hall toward that classroom. When I opened the door, no one was inside. Everything was completely silent. The chair had stopped moving. I just brushed it off and went back to the security room. But after that night, things started getting stranger. Almost every night, I could hear footsteps in the hallways. Slow, careful footsteps, tap, 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 like someone was walking through the long corridors. But whenever I went to check, no one was there. One night, as I was walking past the gym, I clearly heard children laughing. I immediately stopped. It was 2 a.m. The entire school was supposed to be empty, but the laughter was real. I slowly pushed open the heavy gym door. The place was dark, and suddenly, a basketball started bouncing by itself. Boom, boom, boom. Just like someone was dribbling it. My heart started racing. I quickly stepped back and left the gym. The next day, I mentioned this to one of the older teachers who had been working there for many years. When I told him about what happened in the gym, his face changed completely. He looked at me quietly and asked, "You heard the sound in the gym?" I nodded. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. "You're lucky you didn't see him." I asked him what he meant. After a long pause, he finally told me the story. About 20 years ago, something terrible happened at that school. One night, a student secretly entered the building after hours. He went to the gym to play basketball alone, but somehow, that boy died in the gym that night. No one ever figured out exactly how. After that incident, many people claimed they could hear a basketball bouncing in the gym late at night. I didn't really believe it, not completely, until the night everything changed. It was 2:14 in the morning. I was watching the camera monitors again, and suddenly, I saw a boy standing in the hallway. He looked about 14 or 15 years old, and he was wearing an old-style school uniform. My heart skipped a beat. There was absolutely no way a kid could be inside the building at that time. I quickly ran to the hallway where I'd seen him, but when I got there, the hallway was empty. Completely empty. Then I noticed something strange on the floor. Wet footprints, like someone had just walked through water. The footprints were leading directly toward the gym. My hands started shaking, but I followed them anyway. I slowly opened the gym door. The place was pitch dark, and then the sound started again. Boom, boom, boom. The basketball was bouncing. I turned on my flashlight, sweeping the beam across the vast, dark space, and what I saw is something I will never, ever forget. Standing in the middle of the gym was a boy. He was dribbling the basketball, but something about him was terribly wrong. His head was twisted at a completely unnatural angle, and his eyes were just empty black sockets. He suddenly stopped bouncing the ball. Slowly, he turned his head toward me. Then he smiled, and in a quiet, raspy voice he said, "Do you want to play?" My entire body froze. In that instant, the lights in the gym flickered and shut off, plunging me into total darkness. And all around me, I could hear children laughing. I ran out of that building as fast as I could. That night, I quit the job, and I never went back to that school again. But the story didn't end there. A few months later, I heard something disturbing. A new security guard had taken my place at the school. One night, he mysteriously disappeared. The last security footage showed him standing outside the gym door, and from inside the gym, you could hear a basketball bouncing boom boom boom, and a child's voice saying, "Come play with me." Thanks for watching. If you have a story you'd like to share, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more.